I got that one. He came out of that tree. Come on, son. I just flipped my bait out there where that tree was. He went out and socked it. Get on in here. Get on in here. Oh my goodness. That's what we call Little Lake Pleasant bass. Look at that, folks. I flipped right into that tree right there. So that tells me I'm gonna have to start flipping into some of these trees. I just got here, you know, and we're here in the beginning of March. And this lake is one of my favorite lakes because it's normally really clear. But, you know, when we put our boat on the water this morning, I noticed the water temperature was like 56, 57 on the main lake. And I thought, man, we've got to find where they're at. And normally on this lake, what I love about this body of water, you can go back into the no wake areas, which is, we're back in Humbug. And you can get back in some of these like Coles, where you just have no wake areas, just fishermen. We've got calm water conditions today. The water will heat up more as we start our, as we start our descent back to the back. So out on the main lake, it might be 56, 57, but as you move back here, it's gonna move up a lot quicker to say 59 to 60 degrees. 60 degrees is that magical number where fish are really start moving shallow this time of year, and you start seeing roaming fish. And what happens, they migrate out of the deep water and they need to spawn. So they have to find shallow water, sheltered water away from the wind, and little pockets, things like that, and they'll move up shallow. What this place has to offer is it's got trees, it's got rock, and a little off-colored water. Anytime we get in that off-colored water, the water temperature will warm up faster throughout the day. So if we get in that off-colored water, it should start warming up, the fish should start getting a little more active, and throughout the day, it'll probably be a little bit better. We're gonna roam around this lake today, see if we can find some fish. I threw on a Texas rig. I like to flip in these trees and some of this rock with a little crawdad and just see what happens. And maybe we'll catch him. I threw that out and that fish took off with it. So he was hanging in that tree. So what we'll do is it gives us a little bit of a hint about what's going on. Of course, don't always figure as soon as I'm starting to go down the bank, look, I don't see any trees, but we'll find some. We'll find some where these fish are and hopefully get out there and catch us another one. Got him. Got him. Oh, that's a better fish right there, folks. I called that shot right by that lone bush. Come on, baby. That is a good fish right there. Pretty decent little fish. Come on. I love this kind of fishing. You guys are really trying to move up on us, ain't you? I'll tell you what, come on. Look at that bass, that's beautiful. Beautiful little Lake Pleasant bass. Oh, I love it. My goodness. You know, when they start moving up, like they're doing now, what ends up happening is, you'll notice when you go into the shallows, you can see fish, but a lot of them are real skittish and spooky, and they're just moving up out of the depths of water. They're not used to seeing a lot of stuff going on, and they dart out. They feel vulnerable, so they go back out and swim from you. But if you stay back off, make these long casts, throw something a little small and subtle in there, like this little dude. This little Chigger Craw gets the job done. It's a Berkeley Chigger Craw, and it's small and it's subtle and it's fun to throw. And these little flappers on this thing really get to going when you first throw it in there, so they'll see it when it goes down. It creates a lot of vibration on the way down, let me tell you. But that is a fun rig to throw right there. Not hard to set up. I'm throwing a 3/8 ounce because I could be fishing in 10 foot of water and then throw up shallow, so I want to throw something that casts good on my bait caster. This little 3/8 ounce is great. Tungsten, I really prefer tungsten over lead when you're fishing these kind of rocks, because when you're pulling that bait over those rocks, it clicks better with the tungsten. It's a harder metal. And then just throwing a little 3/0 wide gap hook, with that little dude right there. And this isn't something you do with light line. I'm throwing it with 17-pound test line so I can get them out of the trees and all that good stuff. So that's very important to do. Got him. I got that one. That's a little better fish. There you go. Off them rocks. Come on, buck bass. There's two. We came down this rocky bank. I'm like, man, we have got to. Just a buck bass. Now remember, a lot of these fish this size are moving back. These are the males that start moving back to the backs of these cuts and coves to build their nest. But the females also move back here, and they'll be off a little bit, but I threw that off about 5 or 10 feet off the bank, and he bit that. So maybe we're finding something here. Ooh, just got bit. Got him. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Come on, son. Oh my goodness. Boy, he thumped it. He thumped it. Get in here. Get in here. Look at that. Ooh. Ooh. I love it. Oh my goodness. Beautiful bass. Boy, they're just healthy. Look like footballs. My goodness. You know, it's very important. I was coming off the shallows there, coming by this tree, but dragging that thing and then letting it sit. Dragging it and then letting it sit. And they'll follow it out there. Sometimes they're out there a little deeper. That's why I went with this 3/8 ounce. You'll throw up there 1 minute and you'll get smashed right as soon as it hits the water. And then there's other times you're just kind of pulling it out nice and slow, get out there about 10 foot of water or something and thunk. And that was a better fish. That's fun. And one of the reasons you want to do that too, just so you know, bringing it out like that a lot of times, is sometimes, like I say, those females will sit out there in a little bit deeper water. And the males will be up there shallow. So you can have fun with both. Got him. That's a good one. Off that ledge. Oh. Oh, he's not big, but he right off that ledge. Come on. There we go. I just saw a light spot and I'm like, there's gotta be. Ooh, he's cooked in the bottom of the lip. Come here, buddy. Oh, look at that, look at that. Little belly flop. There we go. Ah! Beautiful looking bass. You know, I was fishing. We moved to a different area. The bite kind of slowed down where we were. I went back and forth there a few times. We come to a different area back in Coles here, and there's a ledge or something right there. I can see the blonde part of the water there. And I figured, you know what? I'm gonna throw out there on that ledge. That little island or whatever that is right there. The water's lower than I'm used to seeing it here, so it's kind of all new water. But man, when you see something like that, you gotta throw at it. I mean, it's just, you know, it's shallow water right there. This fish will hang right on that ledge. Let's try another one. They're just now starting to move shallow. You know, the water is warmed up now to a good 61 degrees towards the backs of these cuts like this. I'm still gonna work the backs of the cuts no matter what the water clarity is. I'm gonna work my way down to the backs of the cuts and the coves and stuff that they have here. And those fish will migrate down there and start moving into the shallows. But you still need to hit your points coming out. You still need to work your ledges a little bit. They're all over the place. They're moving shallower. So that makes it for some fun fishing. Got it. Right there over that rock. Come on, you're done. Right over that rock. Oh my goodness. That's a little buck bass here in the clear water. That's one thing about it. You'll see all the muddy type stuff, and then you come right up to an area where you see some rock point, this rock point coming way out here. And I just threw the other side and I dragged my bait right over it. You know, it's really important to understand that this bait, when you're dragging it, you want it to make it look like a crawdad, because it'll stand up like this, and then as you twitch it, just barely little twitches, it'll keep standing up for you. Keep standing up for you. It'll look like a crawdad actually going away. This bait is incredible. And you'll catch a lot of fish on it if you don't work it like, you know, way high, you know, bring it up and come down. If they're aggressive, they'll do that. But a lot of times if you just twitch it on the bottom and scoot it or drag it across the bottom, twitching your rod tip a little bit, man, that thing looks like a little crawdad coming across the water. They can't stand it, especially when it's flaring up like that. Those little paddle tails on this particular bait really do flare up, and the bait actually stands up. That's what I love about this bait. Got it. That's the male. Ah. I saw you, I saw you. I saw a couple paired up, and what do I catch? The little one. They're swimming by that rock, and I catch the little one. Got her. Got that one. Yeah, come on, baby. Come on. Oh my goodness. That's a good fish, folks. Yeah. Come on in here, baby. I'll let you go. Just let me touch you. Let me touch you. Ah, yeah. Little Lake Pleasant bass. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a nice one, folks. Ah. That was the one that was paired up with the one that was just there on that rock. My goodness, she's beautiful. We gotta let her go. We gotta let that fish go. That is just beautiful fish. Look at that. All right. That was fun. That's the first time I've seen that all day. And what's happening is it's warming up. The fish are moving in. She got me all wet. And just on this rock, warms up. Rocks warm up quicker. A lot of times on the points of these rocks and the backs of these cuts, I just looked down and there was a couple and they were swimming around a little bit, but I figured, well, I'll just stop and just check it out. And on this same craw, I was just waiting for the bite because the wind's blowing enough, it's hard to see a whole lot. I went way back because I knew they'd be spooky. I was just waiting to feel the bite, but managed to do it. Wow, that was a nice fish. That's the joy of fishing this time of year. Get up in the trees, just get up in some dirty water, Texas rig, and then you get out in this clear water and manage to see a bed, you know? And so that's fun to do. I'll tell you, this rig catches a lot of fish. It's really natural looking underwater, and those fish can't stand it. It's like candy. Hey folks, for my tip of the week, one thing that's really important this time of year is to not be on top of the fish. They're skittish. When you're in clear water, like we pulled out to the main lake, we're seeing a lot of fish, and I, for one, love to watch fish. But in saying that, if you want to catch more fish, when you see the fish, you know they're in the area, back way off. Make sure the fish feel more comfortable, because if they see you and they're real skittish, they won't bite. You gotta back way off. If you find an area where you can actually see them with a good pair of polarized sunglasses, back way off and make the cast that way and start working your way back. Because I'll tell you what, if the fish feels comfortable, they're more willing to bite. The other tip that I can give you is to be sure you don't wear bright clothing like I wear on the show here. You want to wear like a blue, something that kind of matches the sky, maybe a green, maybe even a gray or something like that, like a cloud. Because when you're sneaking up on these fish, they can see you. And so kind of camouflage yourself a little bit and work the trolling motor real slow. These tips right here will help you catch more fish on your next fishing trip when they're skittish like this. You know, I'm gonna show you how I rigged this up. There's my 3/8 ounce weight. It's a bullet weight, okay? Put the 3/8 ounce weight on. The one thing that's very important before you go tying your hook on is this is tungsten. That tungsten is such a hard metal. When you're playing in rocks, like we've been doing today in trees, that tungsten bopping up against your knot with the hook can really cut the knot sometimes. So what I like to do is take these bobber stops, you can get them at Bass Pro Shops, and put one bobber stop on after you've put your weight on. They're real easy to do. You just put your line through the little hole there and then pull it just like that. There you go. Okay. So now we have the bobber stop on, okay? That way the weight can slide down to the bobber stop and it's not going to come out. That's great because what that bobber stop's going to do, it's going to offer you a little bit of cushion between the weight and your knot. Kind of like just a little cushion, so when you're pulling on it all the time through the rocks and popping it through, you're not cutting your line where your knot's at. Now I'm going to take my wide gap hook and I'm going to tie the wide gap hook on. And what I'm using is just a Palomar knot. If you've got your favorite knot that you trust, then use it. I'm using the 4-inch Chigger Craw. It's got little eyeballs on it, little eyes on the top of it. So that's the top of the bait. You want to go underneath the bait. So I'm going to this bend of the hook, just like that. Bring it out. Okay, and then you're going to slide it all the way up onto the keeper. See how the hook bends right there? You're going to slide it all the way up, a little bit over the knot, just like that. Okay, then you're going to turn the hook, and then you're going to bring it up underneath the bottom of the bait. When you do that, come all the way through the plastic. See how I came through the plastic? Okay, and then I'm just going to pinch it up a little bit to where the hook point is underneath the skin. They call skinning the bait right there. That way the hook point's not out getting hooked up on everything. Slide your bait down, and there you go. Now, one thing really important, if I'm fishing a lot of trees, I'm going to put a bobber stop on top of the weight, slide it down so the weight can't slide to where if you're coming over a tree, for example, the weight doesn't slide down here, here's your limb, and then the fish bites here. You're not going to be able to set the hook very good if that happens. So you want to keep the bait totally compact and bring it all the way down if you're fishing limbs, things like that. But if you're fishing in rock like that, there's nothing wrong with just not having the bobber stop on the front. That's how I'm doing it right there. 17-pound fluorocarbon line, that's the rig. Got him that time. Come on, son. These are some good, healthy fish in here. Come on. We're done. I've had fun today. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Oh my goodness, what a healthy bass. I'll tell you what, Lake Pleasant has got some good, healthy largemouth in it, man. Let me tell you, this lake, I love it so much. You can find dirty water, you can find clear water. The only thing I can say is early in the morning, you can't see that well anyway. Get up in some of that dirtier water. It seems like they hit a little bit better. As the sun comes up, the water heats up, you can get out into the clear water and you can actually start seeing them roam. But stay back off of them. Throw way out in front of them, don't throw on top of them, and you can catch those fish. They see that crawl coming across the water, they will bite it. Thanks for joining us on the show today. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.